So many great stories so far in season 2023, and Greater Western Sydney are one of the biggest ones. I don't think anyone would have penciled them in their top 8 to be finalists, particularly under Adam Kingsley's first year as senior coach, but they have surprised the competition and they go in as a strong chance of beating St Kilda on Saturday afternoon at the MCG. Their coach, Adam Kingsley, joins us on Footy Classified. Adam, thank you for your time. Congratulations on getting there, and you must be excited to try to make an impact in September.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Yeah, very excited. Obviously, a great opportunity for us. Having not played there last year, we get the opportunity to start again this year and make a good fist of it. So we're really excited and looking forward to it.
Adam, I know you can't say much about the Toby Bedford case at the moment, but can you talk about how much, if any, it's been a distraction for the club? Because it has been quite drawn out through no fault of your own.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been a distraction at all. We since the verdict was handed down, we've been preparing, hopeful that Toby's available, but expecting him not to be. And so we've just gone about our business as per normal. Toby's involved in every one of our meetings, so he's preparing as though he's playing, but, again, hopeful that he is, but expecting not to. And so the distraction piece isn't relevant at all for us over the last fortnight.
Adam, Leon Cameron, the previous coach to you at the GWS Giants, had been there for 9 years, and often habits can set in from players to the way he wanted them to play. What was the hardest thing for you to get the change in players in your time at the Giants? Because things did seem to click around that round 7 or 8 mark.
Yeah, I guess it's always difficult for a new coach coming in to sort of adjust the habits of players who've been here for a while. And from a ball use perspective, we're moving the ball slightly different to what the Giants used to, and so that's taken a little bit of time to get used to. And the challenge really is under pressure, what decisions are our players making? Are they making the decisions around our game plan, or are they reverting back to their habits of 9 odd years of being coached by Leon? And so that's completely understandable, and it does take time. We're all aware of that. But as the season progressed, we were making decisions based on how we wanted to play more often. And I reckon in the back half of the year, it felt like, we were pretty comfortable playing our way and probably established it from about round 9 or 10.
Adam, you come up against St Kilda, of course, and Ross Lyon, and during your coaching journey, you've had a long one before you became the head coach of the Giants. You wanted to go to the Saints to learn off Ross the boss. What attracted you to try and learn off Ross, but then he headed off to Freo? But firstly, what attracted you? What did you want to learn off Ross?
Oh, well, he's an outstanding coach. So I spent a year working under Ross in 2011, and it was just brilliant. He was, he taught me so much, having been at Port Adelaide for 14 years, just hearing a completely different way to do the same thing, essentially. And, he's big on effort and attitude, and he had trademark effort and all that sort of stuff that I hadn't really come across in the past. So I found that really intriguing, and really loved working for him.
Damien Hardwick's decision to step away, at least for a few months, Adam. You worked with him closely at Richmond. It changed the timeline of yourself too when the vacancy became available for you at GWS. Time over again, I can't imagine you wanting to change one thing of what's happened to you.
No, I've loved it. Coming up to Greater Western Sydney and trying to stamp my blueprint on how I think we should play, how I think we should act. It's been fantastic. So, I've loved it. I wouldn't change a thing.
Adam, I know you've been asked about this a fair bit over the last couple of days and weeks about, you initially in the coach's box to now, just the way you hold yourself down on the bench. Did you realise that yourself, or did it take somebody to tap you on the shoulder and say, we need to change some things here with, the tension that you're sort of holding in the coach's box?
No. It was my recognition of it. And when you say recognition of it, it was, 2, 3, 4 moments a game that I can sort of just hang on to a little bit too long. And it was really in the first month of the season where I felt like we should have been playing better. We shouldn't have been making certain mistakes that we were making. And probably looking back on it, it's understandable that we were making those mistakes. And so, the outbursts that I was having every now and then were not helpful to our coaching group. And so it got to a point where I thought, I needed to try and address it, make it a bit better for them primarily, and allow them to do their jobs without distraction.
Steve Coniglio, not only has it been a resurgence, he's playing career best footy. Early doors, was it conversations from you instilling some confidence back in him? Is it all off his own bat? Is it a fitness thing? What can you put it down to?
It's hard to know. I mean, fitness-wise, he hasn't missed a beat in terms of the summer training. He was fantastic in the pre-season training. He attacked every session, trains with great effort and great speed, and so I think he's in great shape. Perhaps a little bit of clarification around exactly what he wanted him to do, and then just building his belief back to you're still capable of being an elite player of the competition, and that goes hand in hand too with also having the discussion around, hey, we're going to make Toby as the sole captain, and you're no longer going to be captain, and the way that he dealt with that, and Josh Kelly also, has just been first class. And without those two dealing with that sort of news around, hey, you're not going to be the captain anymore, we wouldn't be anywhere near the team that we are right now without those two. Their acceptance and their humbleness just to move on and get to work and support Toby every way they possibly can. So yeah, it's been great to watch. I've loved coaching both those boys, Stephen and Josh. Hopefully they've got another big month to come.
Yep. And then on to another key member of your midfield group in Tom Green. I know his form was long exposed before 2023, but might he be tracking to be the best midfielder in the comp at some stage of his career?
Oh, I think so. It's a very competitive market, as we know, and he'll be competing with Bontempelli for a long period of time. So, I think he's got all the tools to be an elite midfielder, one of the best in the competition. He's so good at clearance and contested possession work because of his size and his skill set, but he's also very, very capable on the outside in the transition game. And he's only 4 years in. It's quite incredible, really, to see him impact games the way that he does, being 22 years of age. And I think he averaged maybe the most disposals across the course of this year, which is a wonderful effort. But his disposals actually turn into something more often than not, and his score involvements and his ability to clear the ball and allow his teammates to get involved is first class, and we really rate him incredibly highly.
Adam, speaking at best in the competition, over your time in the game as a player, coach at multiple clubs and assistant, and now the coach of the Giants, where does Sam Taylor sit as in the best defenders you've ever seen or worked with?
He's in the top couple, I would think, in terms of the ones that I've certainly played with or coached. He's incredible in his contest. One-on-one, it just feels like he never gets beaten. Impacts the contest, he either marks it or it's a big spoil and clears the area. He's just so dominant, and he's so athletic too. So, he'd be. I think he's the best key back in the game. I am, of course, a little biased, but I think he's the best key back, and he's probably the best key back I've ever coached.
Will he play, Adam?
It's trending that he will. We've got a main training session tomorrow, so he will train fully tomorrow. If he gets through, then we'll have a decision to make. And there's an element of a risk attached to playing him or not playing him. And so, we'll have to think pretty carefully about what we do. If we play him and he gets injured and we happen to win, then we're unlikely to have him for the rest of the final series. But again, if we don't play him and we lose, we'll be forever kicking ourselves. So it's going to be a really difficult decision. But we'll get together tomorrow afternoon after main training session and put our heads together and come up with a decision.
Adam, so generous with your time. 3 days out from a huge final and your first as coach. Good luck.
No worries. Thanks for having me.